Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. We had a good run, don't say we didn't. I was your first love, and you were my first one. Cheers to all the memories, the venom and the remedies, yeah. Promise I won't forget, yeah. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. So baby, bye. It's for the best and you know why. You gotta leave me here tonight before we make this even worse. It's gonna hurt even more than this does. We gave it up, we had its time to say bye, baby, bye. I'll be, you'll be, yeah, we'll be fine. So let's call it a night, and that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. So baby, bye. It's for the best and you know why. You gotta leave me here right now before we make this even worse. It's gonna hurt even more than this does.
Hey, wackos. Oh, my lights aren't on. Butts. I'm back. Can you hear me? I got a new cord for my mic. How's it sound? Charlene. Hey. Emilindo. Hey. Hey, Max. Courtney. Hey, y'all. How's it sounding? Can you hear me and stuff? Is it crackly still? But your mic is on. Daniel, welcome. Sounds great. It's not crackly. Sounds good here? Okay. I got a new cord. I think that's what was wrong. Okay. Great. Great. Hello. Hi, Rose and Marigold. Hello, everybody. Love that. Okay, good. Makes me happy. Hi, Seattle. Happy you're here too. I have a couple things on our agenda today. My first live, both kids are finally sleeping, so I can catch that. Well, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I got a couple things on our agenda. Someone was terminated from Monat and then made a whole post about it, so we're going to look over that first. That's going to be our first thing. The second is we're going to react to a video. I've covered her recently, I feel like quite a few times. Don't forget to like the live if you can. Bomb Party Drama's getting cray-cray? Amanda, tell me about it. I do have an agenda, Shirley. Can you believe that I am kind of prepared? T. Hannah, hey. The termination post? Yes. We're going to look at her termination post. She was terminated. She made quite a post about it. And there's this person, There's this person who I've covered before, but it's your own business. How could you get fired? Right, Max. Right. So Emily Roberts, I've covered before. You'll see who she is. But we're going to watch one of her videos. She's the one who charges $10 for people to get on the training and then puts it on YouTube for free. So I didn't pay $10 and we're watching it for free on YouTube. My lips are a little chapped. It's been raining and very cold here today, so my lips are chappy chapped. So we're going to start with that termination post. And I'm going to pull it up. I thought I had it pulled up, but apparently I'm not as prepared as I thought. Downloads, no. Desktop, yes. All right. She obviously fired herself. Right. Uh-huh. All right. Once it processes into this, oh, it better not give me trouble. There we go. Thank God. Okay. This is my first time being able to catch a live, so happy. Welcome, Rose. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here then. Well, if it's your first time, let me know. I'm excited. And if it's not your first time, welcome back, bestie. I'm glad that you're here. I didn't know there was bomb party drama, but I'm gonna write it down. Bomb party drama, mama llama. You're here's infant son loves your channel. Oh, I love that, Alex. Oh, that makes my heart so happy. Now let's watch. No, let's read. I'm gonna read this to you. Okay, this is her post. It says, "My termination from Monat Global." First, let me read you. Here, how about we do this? We'll do this. So her caption says, "For I know that." Oh, it's Jeremiah 29:11. All right, I'm not even gonna read it because whatever. Okay, Avery, hey. But this is her post, so we're gonna go through it. It says, "My termination from Monat Global." This is Tell Me a Story. Her middle name is Stell. I think it's like I think it's her maiden name. Let me see. She blocked me, so I think her first name is Haley, and she was at the top, or she was pretty close. She was at the top of Monat, I'm pretty sure, for a long time. I've covered her before in my videos. She's pretty intense, and then we're gonna find out what MLM she went to, which I already know. Wait, someone got terminated? Yes, the Terminator. Yeah, so Haley, or Tell Me a Story, is her on Instagram. She got terminated from Monat Global. She's a top leader. I've covered her before. And I'm going to read through the posts that she talked about it in. She said, "I've been inundated with questions about my departure from Monat lately. It's not an easy subject to broach, but where is her vocabulary coming from? She really went profesh on this. But I feel compelled to share my truth. My journey with Monat has been a profound one, filled with blessings, friendships, and growth. However, recent events had led me down a path I never anticipated. Let me be clear. This wasn't a decision I made willingly. Headquarters' choice to terminate my involvement stemmed from my affiliation with another company in the network marketing space, a violation of Monat's policies." So she knew that she was violating policies. All right. And the MRR drama is crazy. Is someone being terminated, or is someone being sued? I think someone said that. I gotta write that down too. Y'all got me. ChatGPT is working hard as hell. Also, you aren't your own boss, right? Okay. She says, "Yet, despite Yet, despite this being a decision forced upon me, I firmly believe in God guiding our steps. 7 years ago, Monat presented itself to me as an opportunity, one that brought not only financial stability, but also took a sense of purpose. It was a leap of faith. I took wholeheartedly." She continues, "I've been praying about my position at Monat for several months now, battling with my heart, mind, and truthfully, the Holy Spirit resisting the call that maybe my future in this industry was not with Monat. Let's be real, her bank account's been hurting. She's been not so happy with the income, right?" Hannah. Oh my gosh. Hannah and Zach from Roadmap, I think, threatened Michelle Spark from Lepomax for stealing. That is interesting. Because don't they all just steal the content? They purchase it, but like ultimately they take content. Like MRR, master resale rights, is you buy the rights to a course that's already pre-made. So you take their content even though you buy it. I mean, obviously stealing it's different, but anyway, I'm not gonna get sidetracked. I wrote that down, by the way. Thank you so much, Amanda. I wrote that down. And I wrote bomb party down. I'm going to do roadmap. Lepo. Max. All right, cool. Continuing. I firmly reject despite my questions and concerns regarding product formulation, leadership changes, and compensation plan adjustments. I firmly rejected. Okay, so she rejected leaving the industry even though the Holy Spirit was telling her to. So she firmly rejected it despite her questions and concerns regarding product formulations, leadership changes, and compensation plan adjustments. Although my pay was declining month over month, what did I tell you? We kept hearing from headquarters that the company was doing better than ever and to lean in and work harder. Despite my uneasiness surrounding those sentiments, the thought of no longer working with my team who trusted me when they said yes to this business made me sick, truly. What would they think? How would they feel? These are questions I sat on and prayed about. The women who joined me in this journey weren't just business partners, they were family. Oh, blah, boo-hoo. I have no room for that in my brain. No. And it's for them, for their trust in me, that I've agonized over this decision for months. Okay, Stell. Her real name's Haley. I poured my heart and soul into being a leader, a mentor, someone they could rely on, but ultimately I had to confront the harsh reality. My belief in Monat's mission was wavering. But let's remember that you were terminated. She's making this sound like she quit. Like, oh, the Holy Spirit was guiding me to and I left. But no, Haley, you were terminated because you broke policy and procedures. I'm not going to take a bite because I'm reading right now. Sorry. I have this yogurt stuff I make. I've been obsessed with it lately. It's like what is it called when you like keep eating the same thing over and over and over? Whatever. She says, I've always been passionate about promoting products that prioritize health and wellness. That's why I initially joined Monat, to offer a clean alternative to mainstream formulation. Right, whatever. But witnessing compromises in ingredient quality and seeing it decline in our compensation plan left me torn. All right. Dude, people in Monat have to be so pissed reading this. Food hyperfixation. Yeah, hyperfixation meals. I think that's what I for 3 weeks I've been eating the same thing at least once or twice a day, and it's yogurt, peanut butter, and agave mixed. It's the best. Anyway, sorry, I'll continue. That's why I initially joined Monat. Okay, wait, I read that, right? But witnessing, okay, I read that too. Could I continue to endorse a brand I no longer fully believed in? The answer became clear. I couldn't. And yet, you were the one who's terminated. And my thoughts are maybe she started to like not post so much about Monat and started to post about something else because she wanted to keep collecting the check from Monat. Because why wouldn't she just quit if she felt this way? Well, she was getting a check. She's getting paid, even though she wasn't really promoting or working the business. She continues, and now as I reflect on my time with Monat, I can't help but feel a sense of disappointment. Disappointment not just in the company's trajectory, but in the way my departure was handled. Disappointment in how my leadership is conducting themselves after I trusted them and was honest to a fault with how I felt. Let me set the record straight. As my previous upline has continued to demonize me to my organization, so I am forced to defend my integrity in the face of baseless lies and accusations. Oi. Oh my goodness. She said, let me set the record straight. As my previous upline has continued to demonize me to my organization. Oh, who's her previous upline? Ooh, I've got questions. I'm going to write them down. I need to find out. Haley, Stell. Previous upline. That is interesting. I thought y'all were family, Haley. Yes, they're not family. The girlies are fighting. Demonize her. That's a very strong word. Hi, Clifford. Thank you and welcome. I appreciate you being here. Sad violin, babe. Finger violin, right? Anyway, I'll continue. I realize people are going to make assumptions about my departure that may be led to rumors or gossip, but for those of you who know me, you realize I have worked relentlessly to be a leader and friend to the women I inspired I inspired to join this leadership, as well as women who were not part of my organization at all. Sorry, I'm a bit tired, so it's hard for me to read. It's almost like they have transactional relationships, in my opinion. You know what? I think you're right. Seattle says it's upsetting how retaliatory the MLM uplines get with perceived betrayal. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably the blonde girl who was in the center of the Angelique drama. Who? Who? Who's that? I mean, I know the Angelique stuff, but but that was like a year ago. I'm sorry, Max. I don't remember who it was. Okay, let's continue. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect person, but my shortcomings are not for the lack of love and trying, but rather from confronting the battle between my head, heart, and where God was leading me. So I ask that even if you don't understand, you extend grace because my heart was and is in the right place. It's interesting that they ask for grace when they are the ones who are leaving and then being condemned about it, but they don't extend it when it's others. Brittany Rose. I wonder. Oh, Brittany. I haven't checked on her in a while. It's giving get ahead of the narrative. Rose and Miracles, that is a good point. Okay. I want to lead women to the best possible products and opportunity. And when I felt that was no longer Monat, it proposed a question I didn't feel ready for. Beyond my own personal financial risk in starting over, it also presented the risk of losing loved ones. Interesting. Sorry, I'm yawning. Can you say faith manipulation? Yeah, I can, and yeah, you're right. Definitely. With Jeremiah 29:11. With all of that being said, I have nothing but positive things to say about my experience at Monat for many years. I can no longer, in truth, say I support the product and business opportunity. I do support the lady. Some of this, I don't mean to be, you know what? It's readable. So I'm just going to ignore the other things and just read what I can. I have nothing but positive things to say about my experience from at Monat for many years. I can no longer, in truth, say I support the product and business opportunity. I do support the ladies who are still partners and always will be the best of my and always will to the best of my ability while doing my best to support my family. All right. All right. I definitely extend grace if she's genuinely had a change of belief in MLM. She hasn't. She's in a different MLM. She's changed to a different MLM. Did I miss anything? Yes, Sarah. We are talking about some MLM, some Monat termination drama. She continues, God is faithful and he keeps reminding me he takes us from glory to glory and I should not fear. So I'm standing here in faithfulness, gratitude, and hope for the future. The landscape of Monat has shifted, and despite my best efforts to navigate it, I found myself at a crossroads. It pains me to say goodbye to a chapter of my life that once brought me so much joy and fulfillment. I reminisce on the sacrifices I made to achieve all of these things I did over the last 7 years, and it pains me. But I refuse to let fear dictate my future. I trust in the higher plan in the belief that every closed door leads to new opportunities. So I step away with Monat so as I step away with Monat, I do so with a heavy heart, but also with a renewed sense of purpose. My journey doesn't end here. It simply takes a different direction. And the road ahead I will walk, I will walk with faith, gratitude, and hope. She's okay. Here's some real tea. You ready? She says, regarding ingredients, okay? I hold an important belief that what we apply and consume impacts our overall health and wellness. My confidence in getting involved with Monat was to sell a clean alternative to mainstream formulas. We had a robust no list of ingredients we would not use in our formulations. So when I began seeing adjustments regarding formulas, the no list became the yes list, leaving rooms for changes to be made. I started asking questions like, why do the USA formulas contain questionable ingredients that our same European counterparts do not? Why is caramel food coloring in our wellness products? Why are we using red 40 linked to developmental disorders? This was something I thought would change under pressure, but it didn't. I thought maybe I would not promote those products and that felt like a solution. Although when the orders would go through containing these ingredients, I felt a sense of misleading those who trust me I had promoted this as a clean brand for so long. And you know what, Haley? That's exactly what it is. You misled them. So while you didn't say, like, why didn't you didn't talk about those products that had those ingredients you didn't support? You promoted the brand itself as a clean brand. So you absolutely misled them. Disgusting. Anyway, I knew though that there are women depending on this income, and that was enough for me to navigate my sentiments regarding ingredients every time it would come to mind. No, no. What it is cognitive dissonance. All right. It's not navigate my sentiments. Girl, she says, the compensation plan changed shortly after navigating these issues. It was an adjustment that sounded like an upgrade, but unfortunately, every month the compensation plan of not just myself, but my teammates was in decline. Oh, the compensation of not, oh, sorry, excuse me, big old yawn. It was an adjustment that sounded like an upgrade, but unfortunately, every month the compensation or her income of not just herself, but her teammates was in decline. And this was not due to lack of working hard. I'm going to read that again. I'm gonna read it again, and I need everyone to just tuck this right in your earlobe, make sure it never leaves. Freaking rented a room, lock the door. You know what I'm saying? She says, it was an adjustment that sounded like an upgrade, but unfortunately, every month the compensation, I'm gonna say my income of not just myself but my teammates was in decline, and this was not due to a lack of working hard. Well, Haley, glad you came to your senses for a hot freaking minute. It was not due to a lack of working hard. Yeah, we freaking know. It's due to it is due to the compensation plan, and it is 100% due to the way the business structure works. Yes, she hasn't learned her lesson. No, she hasn't, because she's in a new MLM, and we're going to talk about that MLM here in a sec. Hey now. This is what MLMs are made of. Right. Oh no, that's going to be stuck in my head now. Continuing. I just still can't believe she said that. I can't believe she said that. She said, while my personal income was still remarkable and a blessing, I didn't feel confident I could effectively lead women to the paychecks they heard boasted about during our conference. And in order for me to recruit and effectively mentor, my belief in the business had to be there. Okay. Imagine thinking you own your own business and not being able to pay yourself what you earned. Imagine. I fell short as a friend and mentor to my team for many months because I was navigating the potential implications of a decision either way. So again, while this decision was made for me, I firmly believe Jesus opens doors and he closes them. Oh, she's working real hard to make sure that it wasn't that she wasn't the problem. That God is the one that said, "You know what, Haley, you need to leave. So the only way I know you're going to leave is if I have them fire you." Uh-huh. She said, he knows what's best for us even when we don't. No, don't leave. Stay. Sorry, that's acting weird. She says, I truly believe the best is yet to come, and I have peace that surpasses all understanding. I know that God closes one door and opens others that lead to something so much greater. I know that he will remove you from tables that the devil is sitting at, and when you get up from the table, people are talking behind your back. Let me read that again. Lick the stream, guys. Can y'all lick it for me? Give it a good old lick with that thumbs up button. Much appreciated. I'll read that again. I know that God closes one door and opens others that lead to something so much greater. I know that he will remove you from tables that the devil is sitting at, and when you get up from that table, people are talking behind your back. The deviltry. Could you just imagine that anytime you are, like, let's say you're terminated from an MLM, and you know why? She said her very first post, she was terminated because she went against policy and procedures. She's saying it's because God didn't want me sitting at the devil's table anymore. Haley, you said why you were leaving, you wacko. You went against policy and procedures. And while I know Monat's not usually like, they don't always, terminate people for going against policy and procedures, you did. And you admitted it. So, goodness. I also believe that when you pray for the right people, situations, jobs into your life, the wrong ones will exit. I do not know what the future holds for me and my family, but I have faith in Jesus Christ, and that's all I need. I'm thankful for his protection, his provision, and redemption. His plans are always better. With much love, Haley Stell Turner. All right. And then she said, I'm excited to have found something that I fully align with ethically, morally, and spiritually. Stay tuned for my next chapter. Thank you, Jesus. Let me just tell you right now. I'm going to let y'all. Hold on. I'm going to let y'all guess what MLM she joined. Don't go look. Don't do it. Guess what MLM she joined. I'll give you 20 seconds. Okay. I haven't seen it yet. No one's right yet. Not Q Sciences or Omari, no Arbonne, no crypto, no Young Living, not Saint, Frequence, no Hint. I've covered them before. Not iGenius, not Stampin' Up, not Nello or Transactor Finmore, not Melaleuca, not Saint, not New Skin, not Nugenics, not Love Air, not doTERRA. Let me put it this way. You might find it in a cocktail. That might get y'all. That might help you. Not Amway. Olive shit? It's the olive tree people. She joined the olive tree people. She says, what in the I know. She says, nothing could have prepared me for the curves of life that come as I've begun walking along the narrow path that God sets before me. But when you walk the narrow path, sometimes it abruptly ends and a new path begins. For following my termination from the company I'd been with for 7 years, it's been made more clear than ever that it's just one door shutting for even a better door opening. Holy crap, yeah, I know. The talking trees? She says, inside that door, I found Olive Tree People, a German organic skincare and wellness brand that has not only completely changed my skin, but I feel God is going to use to change so many lives on many different levels, physically, spiritually, mentally, etc. Holistically. Not the olives. She continues, Olive Tree People has already been the answer to so many. Sorry, shit. Where's my clip? There we go. Olive Tree People's already been the answer to so many prayers, and walking in alignment with what God wants for me has put the breath back in my lungs. Okay, that's weird. Having the support of my friends and family and thousands of strangers, has furthered the confirmation that God has given me. I have peace that surpasses all understanding and a renewed excitement for my work. Let's check back in a month or 2, maybe 3, and see if Haley still has that peace. It has so many questions about what I'm doing. Frankly, I'm not going to read the rest because I don't care at all about Olive Tree People. I've covered them before. I've covered them with Aaron too. So if you want to learn more about them, you can go watch some of the lives I've done and the videos I've done, because that's originally where Mary Scott went. And I think, look, I scraped my finger along the wall and that happened. Right where my knuckles are, it just scraped the skin off. Sorry, that might be a little gross, but it hurt too. That bitch hurt. What's the other girl's name? Mary Scott, and I literally don't even remember the other woman's name. Hold on. There's a fire truck coming. Wee boo. Okay. Do y'all remember the other woman's name? Brandon, and her husband's Brandon. I don't remember. It's been, I could look it up. I feel like someone's going to tell me though before I get to it. Someone's going to know. Shanna. Oh, Avery, thank you. Shanna Hunter. Yes, Shanna Hunter. And so, yeah, so that's where she went, which is really funny. So, remove. I did not say to pop up. So, that's the T for now. That's the drama llama. And now what I want to do is I want to shift to the video I talked about earlier. So this person I've covered, her name's Emily Roberts. I've covered her before on here. I started covering her only like 6 months ago, maybe even less than 6 months ago. I think I've done 2 videos on her. And she has a YouTube channel where for a lot of her videos, you'll see videos. For a lot of her videos, it says like $10 training or whatever. And for you to get on the training and watch, you have to pay $10. And then she'll post it on YouTube for free. So we're going to watch a free version on YouTube, where she posts. I'm going to be the big part of it simply because you can't really see her very well. And we're going to watch the one that's called, what'd she call it? It's called Avoidance is Still an Action. So we're going to watch that.
Welcome to the Friday training. I'm Emily Roberts. I have been in the network marketing, social selling space for nearly a decade. We will celebrate 10 years.
A little info about her. Sorry, I just spilled something on my mouse. Give me a second. Info about her. She's been a top leader in Plexus for a long time. She's been in Plexus for years. So, yeah. Sorry that you have to look at it like this. She did not put herself forefront and center, which sucks, but you can look at me. Hey. Okay, let's watch.
Years later in July. And what I've learned in the last 10 years is that times change, and so do we. And we pivot when social media pivots, and when the way to influence others pivots. We need to get on board with that too. It does not matter your age. It does not matter if you're 18 or 88. You can use social media to leverage and brand yourself and make a sale, communicate with your audience or your niche audience. You'll hear that word a lot. And here's the thing about niches. Everyone has one, but you don't really know that you do. So real quick in the chat, for those of you that are with me now and not driving or anything like that, drop in the chat one thing. And I don't want a fluffy answer. I don't want an answer that you think I want. I want the truth. One thing that if you and I were to go sit down and have a cup of coffee, and I'm like, what are you up to? What is something you are just so passionate, so obsessed with? You could talk about it. You can lead with factual information. Maybe it's something you studied. Maybe it's something you've done since you were a child. Some of you that could be like homeschooling. Some of you in your sourdough starting things. Lord help me. I'm not that person. I burn food and I kill plants, so that you would not find me talking about those things on social media, but we try. Okay. When I cook and I document it for social media, that is because I am so dang proud that my family can eat something edible and it probably has protein in it. So when you see somebody on social media, including yourself, the fact that they took the time to make that content and talk about something they're proud of or excited about, maybe even passionate about, that's exactly what this Zoom is going to be about today. I can give you a checklist of things for you to do on the social media space, but what I want is for you to get passionate about that one thing that you can educate me on, because maybe I want to know how to make candy, and your family owns a candy factory and it's been in your family's lineage for years and years and years, and you take me behind the scenes. Like, I'm going to click follow. That's fascinating. Maybe you are a Lego mom. And I only say that because these are right in front of my face right now. So if you're a Lego mom and you actually take the time to sit down with your kids, quality time, imagination, creativity skills, all the things. You're building Legos and you're
Can we just have niches because we like to do them and not just so that we can get people to join our MLM? I feel like, I obviously have a niche, whatever you want to call it. Um, a couple. I have a couple. I've been all talking about books on my Instagram, even though I also talk about anti-MLM stuff and scam stuff. But the idea that you have to have a niche so that people will be drawn to your social media so that they will then join your multi-level marketing company is I just feel like it's not the right reason to have one. Like, have one because you want to do that and show people that, not so that they'll join your company or whatever. So manipulate your audience using personal hobbies. Right, Max. Yes, that's a great way to put it. Yes. But yeah, I don't, it's odd. And also, I don't know the word. I feel like it's exhausting to try to force yourself to have a hobby so people will join your MLM. Should we write it down? Yes, and please make sure you have a Crayola and a yellow notebook to do it with, okay? I have a new niche every 2 weeks. Yay, hyperfixations, right?
documenting that experience. I'm going to follow you. Doesn't mean I'm going to put together Legos, but I'm going to follow you because I know that it gives me that idea that I could. It's relatable. That's the season of life I'm personally in. I have 3 kids. They are 6, 7, and 9. And so, yeah, we got Legos in our house and I'm constantly trying to feed some picky eaters. And so you guessed it, my niche is motherhood. I'm in the thick of it. It's something I'm passionate about. I'm also someone that worked really hard to save her marriage. I think that's the miracle. It's a huge part of my testimony with Jesus Christ is he saved our marriage and saved my husband. And when I share that story, more people wanted to know, or they're like, hey, can you tell my friend they're about to go through a divorce or they're separated and they need to hear this story. And so I wrote a book. And I think that that is something that I'm supposed to talk about. So when
She wrote a book? She wrote a book? Oh, give me it. Emily Roberts. Let me go hold on. She wrote a book. Let me find her really quick. Do you think she has me blocked? Do you think I can find her like just by... Emily Roberts, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, you know what? Let me look at her YouTube, I guess. Let me see. She wrote a book. Interesting. Well, okay. I'm not gonna be able to find her on Instagram. Maybe she has me blocked, or maybe I don't know. Everyone's writing books, right? Hannah, it's true. Yeah. I honestly want to look at the book, but I don't want to work that hard to find it. So
I tell you to write these things in the chat. Don't give me the fluffy, I could talk about gut health all day. I could talk about, no. The thing you're avoiding. The thing you're avoiding is probably the thing you're supposed to be talking about on social media. And it's usually because you're passionate about it and you believe. And I'm not even talking about religion or politics. I think that is something that will show up in what you post no matter what. And I think it's obvious. I think people let us know what they believe in, and that's great. And I do think if that is something you want to talk about, do it. More people should. But today, I'm not here to give you a checklist. I'm not here to tell you you're doing it wrong, you're doing it right, or pat you on the back. I just want to make it look enjoyable because that's what it should be. It shouldn't be idolized. It shouldn't be prioritized. It just should be enjoyable. It's a way for the world to get to know you. And of course,
I looked up her Instagram and couldn't find it. I was thinking maybe she had a link to it on there, but I don't know.
I'm going to say you must be consistent. Okay. So 2 things I want you to write down before we dive in. Number 1, everything is content. Number 2, I must post the content consistently. And for my note takers that like to put things in the chat, please put it in the chat because I always forget what I say to you guys sometimes. So everything is content. And why I say that is because when I do these one-on-one trainings with
So everything's content. I have seen where people in Young Living, especially like when their children are in the hospital, I work with children in the hospital. And if I saw a mom, like while her child's in the cardiac unit, putting like oil up their nose, I would call their nurse and say, "Hey, this lady's putting oil in the child's nose," and let them know, because that could really hurt the child, especially like who knows what medication they're on, right? They're on tons of stuff, especially if they're in the cardiac unit. But I've seen a video, I've watched a video of a Young Living mom put oil in her child's nose while they were unconscious, well, asleep, but like they are not just sleeping, like they are underneath because their body's trying to heal from a heart surgery. Yeah, I've seen that, and don't. It blew my mind, but that lady used that for content. She used that for content, and you know what? I think when Emily means that says this, she means that too. She said, "Use it all for content." Which is not right. I don't think everything should be for content, especially your children, which, I feel like that's pretty, like, people are starting to really speak up a lot about children being used for content and their parents making money off of them, which is 100% agree that children should not be used for content. And I think a lot of people in MLMs do use their children for content. I have a lot to say about this. My mind's all over the place though. But I don't think everything should be used for content. How many times have I said content? Like a billion. I don't think that that's okay. I don't think that that's right. And I don't think people, like everyone, should use anything for it. I think that's manipulative and weird and yeah. Children can't consent. Exactly. Anyway, I just got so furious thinking about that mom. Anyway, I'm going to press play so that I don't lose it.
you guys, which I do offer, by the way, you can always contact me and we can set that up. But when I do one-on-one trainings, y'all all ask me about social media. And I was blessed with a creative, imaginative mind. You can call it a spiritual gift if you want. I don't know, but I've always been silly. I've always been theatrical. It comes naturally to me. So of course, when new apps came out over the last,
You know why I can't find her on Instagram? Because she has me blocked. I found her on Facebook, clicked on her Instagram thing, and I'm blocked. At least that's what it said, or at least that's like what it's acting like. So, anyway.
last decade, your girl tried them all out. The only one I've never tried is TikTok. You can't tell me otherwise. I have a husband in cyber intelligence that's like, no, ma'am, you're not allowed. So fine by me, fine by me. But we got Instagram and we got Facebook and I've experimented with a lot of apps over the last 10 years. And the one that has served me well the most has obviously been Facebook, because as a military wife, we traveled a lot. Does anybody have a friend or is still in contact with someone that you were actually friends with when you were 8 years old? Anybody? I was thinking about that this morning, had coffee with my mama, and we're sitting here and I was like, you know what's crazy? Like my son is 9. And I was like thinking about the relationships that he has with his friends. And he is like, he loves his friends. And I was thinking about that. And I was like, one of my best friends, I've known her since I was 9 or 10. That's my son's age. And so when I think about that and I think about social media, we treat the social media depending on who's reading the social media content, right? How many of you would agree your Facebook is usually what we call a warm market? Family, close friends, probably people you run into at the grocery store, gym, or church. Some of them you don't really talk to, but you know enough about them that if you ran into them, you'd be like, how's your son Bobby doing? You don't even know how old Bobby is, but you know that's his name, right? Like that's Facebook, okay? So I wouldn't disagree. I think Facebook has served its purpose. We've had it the longest. So obviously we're going to be more connected over there. With Instagram and even TikTok, you have, in my opinion, a free-for-all. Everyone is selling something on those two apps. Would you agree? True or false?
No.
Drop it in the chat.
No.
And if you say,
I'm not selling shit. I honestly, I don't really post on TikTok a lot anymore. I always think that I should, and then I do, and I'm like, oh God, I don't like it. Whatever. Anyway, no, believe it or not everyone is selling something, you wackos.
false, then you're not utilizing the app the same way I'm utilizing the app. Some of you are very private and you're like, I don't want my stuff to be public. I don't want to use hashtags. I don't want to draw attention to myself. That's fine, but this isn't about you. This is about leveraging social media in your business and to drive sales, right? We're all in sales. Yes. For those of you with your camera on, just shake your head. Yes. We're all in sales. I know. Network marketing. It's sales. Surprise. Guess what? Social media allows you to be in sales. Everyone's selling something. And there's friends of yours, which you guys know because I see the post. Your friends are posting about that Stanley Cup. Your mom friends are posting about Legos, whether they stepped on them or they got Bobby a $90 Lego set for his birthday. No matter what, we're all selling something and influencing those around us.
Ugh. That is so annoying. That is so annoying.
But the fact of the matter is, do you have that influence? Are you trustworthy? And are you adding value? And if you want to leverage the sale, you have to add value in a way that doesn't give away the whole thing for free.
Good God.
I think you can be a great source of knowledge about one particular topic. A lot of you could go and create a new Instagram right now. For example, what did I put in the chat? Let's go look for a second. Let's go look. For those of you watching this playback later, I'm going to read a few things from the chat. And some of the things you guys said that you were very passionate about is aesthetics, retirement tips, especially.
I think this is a good point, Penn, especially like when they're selling close to the same product. Penn said, did she just make everyone in their life competition? It's a good point.
Needs, wedding planning, photography, cooking, baking, or even lifting weights. Cheryl, girl, I'm gonna message you about that. Okay, camping, sourdough, healthcare, fashion, divorce, blending families, my health, losing weight, anxious motherhood, meal prepping. Amy says, I don't know what I'm good at anymore. Does anybody relate to that? Interior design, planning events. So I do want to make a call out to the negative side of being on social media a lot is comparison, imposter syndrome. Those are real things. Nobody made them up. And that we know comparison is the thief of joy. We know that. So for those of you struggling with that, I want you to take a minute to really like challenge yourself, set a 2-minute timer, think about things that you really enjoy doing or think about or find yourself watching videos on a lot of, and write at least 5 things down because we have to treat our social media and we have to treat our space as a 9 to 5 job. I know in network marketing, we're creating more freedom. I know that. I know in the sales space, we get to do that. And it does provide that. We have the evidence.
If you're creating more freedom, then why do you have to put a niche, whatever, to your social media? If you're so free and you have more freedom, then you should be able to do whatever you want, not what Emily Roberts tells you to do. Also, it doesn't create more freedom. It just doesn't. I mean, statistically, it proves that most people don't make money, and a lot of those people actually lose money. So it doesn't. Actually, when you look at the statistics, it shows that it actually takes some freedom from you because, well, it takes a lot of freedom from you. Why? Because you're adding this on top of it and you're not getting benefits from it. And I don't mean just benefits that a work would give you. I mean benefits like more income and whatnot.
To prove it. But a lot of the time you treat it as a hobby, or you go get on one of those apps to help you with your business, and then you get lost in the scroll
Thanks
or
for
the comparison. So, Mary Carmen, because I can see you in your cute little headset, you're front and center on my screen right now. Hello. Yes or no? If an intruder was at your door, banging on the door, yelling mean, horrible things to you, would you open the door and let the intruder in?
What kind of question is that?
No. Would you guys let the intruder in? Anybody else that I can see your faces? No.
You weirdo.
What would you do?
Call the
You would
cops.
keep the door locked. You would use scare tactics. You would call 911. Some of you like to use your amendments and you would get out my house, get out the driveway, right? Like you would be doing all the things to get the intruder away. So tell me right now why those negative thoughts are allowed to come in your mind, your home, and intrude on what you're doing in your social media spaces and telling you it's not pretty enough, it's not good enough, it's not whatever.
You use someone coming to your door, banging on it, and saying a bunch of shit to you like an intruder in the same way that your mind would be negative to yourself. Here's my issue with that. If she wasn't, okay, in MLM, when they talk about negativity and positivity, in my opinion, a lot of times they're talking about information control or like, right, trying to stop thought stopping techniques because they a lot of times will equate negativity to something going against MLM, right? Like true and real statistics showing that it's a bad thing, like a bad thing, bad opportunity. They'll say that's negative. You're being negative. Or like asking like, hey, I've not been doing well this month. I've been doing everything you told me to do. What do I do? And they're like, you're being negative, first off. It's like, well, no, that's a legitimate question. That is such an odd thing. Critical, yeah, she's trying to discourage critical thinking, 100%. What the leap that she's making to make that link, she literally had to do like a double backflip, freaking tumbling across over the line to make that leap. What is the saying I used to say all the time? I can't remember. I haven't said it in a while. But a lot of times what they call negativity are red flags. So it's like, oh, there's a red flag. Hey, you didn't make the money you thought you were going to make this month, even though you tried your hardest and you did exactly what she said. So voicing something like that, she would say, you're being negative. Now that's why you're not winning. You're being dragged down by your thoughts. And it's like, well, no, that's a red flag. It's my mind saying, hey, something is not right. And that's a lot of times what they're going to call negativity, not like legitimate negativity. And that's where mental gymnastics, thank you, Penn. Yes, that was a lot of mental gymnastics. But that's what they do a lot of times to they use thought stopping techniques like you're being negative, stop being negative, think positive thoughts only, meaning don't look at the red flags, put rose colored glasses on and keep going forward. Yeah, exactly, Hannah. Negativity and bad feelings can sometimes be your brain warning you. Exactly.
That's a lie. You very much do have value to offer to the world. You very much know something you are passionate about. Quit telling yourself that you don't know. You do know. You're avoiding it. There's a difference. You're not bad at it. You're just avoiding it. Some of you are probably really, really great at educating others, at adding value. And if you feel like you're not, it's just something that you do or have been doing, document it.
That's a good point.
Document it. So the next time you are making that sourdough, the next time you're building the Legos, the next time you're doing homeschool curriculum, whether you're creating it or just teaching it, prop up that phone, get off of it, prop it up, hit record, and do your thing. Everything is content.
No, it's
everything.
Not. No.
I mean.
Okay, let me put it this way. Everything is content. I'm going to say everything can be content. Everything can be content. JulieJo, whatever you're eating looked delicious. Yeah, it was that yogurt, peanut butter, and agave thing, that my hyperfixation food that I've been eating for the past several weeks. Everything can be content. Not everything should be content.
Besides child labor, like going into labor and having a child, not child labor, but going into labor and having my children, I've literally put everything on the internet at this point. And so if you're that authentic and you're that genuine and you're that passionate, nobody can come for you. If you have like this secret life or a double life you feel like you're living, and that's why you can't share on social media, it's because you're avoiding it. But who is that going to help? It's not helping you. It's driving you crazy, because there's something that you have got to talk about and bring awareness to. And so when I think about that, and I think about all the different seasons of life, like we're
Y'all are telling me some of the most ridiculous, funny, like, content stuff, like picking up, what is it? Picking up dog poop equals content. Y'all tell me some more. What is it? If a burglar comes to my door, is that content? Hannah, go to therapy. Yeah, it's bad. Amazing that people could have a private life, right, Kristen? Who could have thought that people could have a private life and not make everything content? I'm a public figure. I post about a lot of things, but I have a very private life. Believe it or not, I have a very private life. So I sneezed. Is that content? Apparently, Pen. Apparently.
military family. Scott's been out of the military for almost 8 years. Feels like a lifetime ago. But I still find myself helping other people now in that season of life. So for those of you, I'm talking to my people over the age of 40, this is your time.
Yes, it is content. Coconut.
Oh, wise ones, we need you now more than ever. And I get it, because of all the conspiracy theories of the world. Some of you are like, I don't even know what to believe anymore. I can't trust nothing. Like, so then you kind of like second guess your own wisdom. Come on now. Come on now. We need you guys. I go to my mom for everything. I always tell her, you can't die. 1, because my 6-year-old likes her more than me. And 2, because I'm like, you just can't. I pray her. I'm like, please outlive me. I don't think I could handle it. Right. So for those of you that still have your parents and you have a great relationship with them, ask them for advice. Turn that into content. Some of you have some really excellent parents. I've seen some of your posts where you're like, I got to spend time with my family over the winter break, and me and my dad had this conversation, and this is what he told me. That's content. A lot of people don't have dads.
Hey, over there on Twitch, this person says, wait, what? So if you want privacy, you are hiding something and leading a dual life? Sorry, I won't ever post my kids to the internet. I am not holding that responsibility of embarrassing them because the internet's forever. I think that's a great point. Yeah. Apparently you're holding back, right? And with MLMs, they want you to post everything. And something in particular that Arbonne taught me when I was in is blend your MLM and your life together. Like, make it look like they just fit together perfectly and show all of that. My cat just burped. Damn, I missed a video of that. This one, where was it? Someone, who said it? Oh yeah. Lanya, my stomach grumbled. Time for a documentary. Oh, y'all are so funny.
A lot of people don't have moms. Things that you're taking for granted could be content for you to connect with someone that you've never met yet. You're welcome, Summer. I'm getting there. I'll be 34 this year. I started this business when I was a 24-year-old. At the time, I was a know-it-all. So now I'm going to talk to my people.
You still are a know-it-all. I've watched plenty of her videos to know that she thinks she knows it all. I was a know-it-all. You still are. Present tense. I am a know-it-all, is what she should have said. Was then, am now.
18 to 25. You know nothing. Shut up. Okay?
And you still don't either. I'm just being a petty bitch.
I'm just kidding. You know some things. I'm so thankful that you are bold and courageous and so smart, but you're learning.
You are too.
You don't suck at anything. You're just learning. And if you're new here, I lead with sarcasm and wit and humor. So
no, you lead with oh God, what would she lead with? What's the right word? I don't want to say what I'm really, what's the right word? Oh my God, my dog is so fucking cute. Hold on. Luna's hanging out with me. Let me show you. Here's Luna. She's in here with us. She's being the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Look at that. She's right across from me. Is she not the cutest thing? Anyway, she leads with like a sense of superiority, I think. Bullshit? Question mark? Yes. Yes. It's like she leads with this kind of personality that I would never want to be friends with. She's rude, she's she's harsh, like, and I don't mind having, I don't know, harsh in a way that is not becoming. Like, I don't want to be her friend and I don't want to have a conversation with her. Because she's not understanding. She seems like she lacks a large amount of compassion. Condensation, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're offended, this ain't for you. Just log off now.
See?
Oh, Marlene, I'm so sorry. You can borrow mine. She's a great mama. All right, so let's go back into
Abrasive.
some ways and some decent ways that we can lead from the front and organize our social media without giving away the whole pizza. Like, you can give away some of the ingredients of the things that you are offering to the world, but you don't have to serve the whole pie, okay? Every now and then you can, because that's how people go viral, because they give you the whole behind the scenes, or they give you a funny moment that's happening right then. A lot of my content that goes viral has nothing to do with my business. Did you hear me? My plexus things don't go viral. But my videos about my kids, or me being in the thicket of motherhood, or me burning dinner, or me making a 5-minute meal because
Actually, I'm wrong. The video is called Social Media, Everything is Content. Her other video, Avoidance is Still Action, I have downloaded too, but this isn't that one.
I hate cooking, and I said it. Like, those are the things that I connect with other moms on. But then in my DMs, behind the scenes, when I'm meeting these new followers and other moms, which, by the way, my stuff is set to public.
Right.
If I get a weirdo, they're
too.
blocked.
Honestly,
If I get someone that's just hateful or lost, they're blocked.
I
will send them a very loving message and say,
you didn't send me one, Emily, and I'm blocked. Like, guess why? I would love to have a chat, though. I mean, I said earlier, I don't want to talk to her, but like, I would love to have a chat about this, not like a friendship chat,
Hey, I believe hurt people, and this isn't a space for you. We don't have a lot in common. So I'm blocking you, and not because I hate you or I don't like you, just because
I can guarantee you don't like me, babe. And I don't like you back.
Because this is not a space for you. Because I don't want anyone to ever think that their opinion is not validated, but I'm also not going to entertain it. I have healthy boundaries set in place, and I know who my peoples are. Just like network marketing is not for everyone. Being in the sales business ain't for everyone. But you are in control of your social media. Did you notice the last time you got on and it says November 16th, 2023, that was your last post? You notice nobody else came on your social media and posted for you, right? I'm just checking. Ain't nobody got that login.
Obviously. She's so rude, and for what? Like, she's so condescending, and for what, Emily? Does it make you feel good? Do you like hurting people? Does it give you, like, joy and an excitement to tear people down? That is disgusting. It's so, I look at her and I watch her face light up as she says some of these things, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Ugh.
They aren't doing it for you. Just like we say, show up and take your vitamins, and no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to post for you. Now, if you want to leverage an assistant or some AI or whatever, and something that posts for you, by all means, that's great. But then that means you're following some sort of content calendar or using maybe Canva to come up with content. And all those are great things. But there is a strategy behind it. And I think it's creating curiosity about something you're passionate about, sharing the in-between moments, and not just posting and praying that, oh, I hope this goes viral today. No, it's the same thing every day. Just new adjectives. Seriously, new adjectives and new ways to describe it and share it. But I want to pull up some notes. I want you to create a social media content plan about something that you are passionate about that you could talk about for the next 30 days. No, nobody runs my social media. It is all me. Thank you for asking, Kathy. I want you to learn about your audience. When you post something, and for those of you that have a public social media, I'm not talking about those of you on lockdown. Like, ain't nobody coming for you. If they were coming for you, you'd already get got. So put it on public. We're trying to reach more people. At this point, other countries have seen it all, whether you think you're locked down or not. So if that's you, I want you to post about the same thing for the next 30 days. Immediately, you should be like, oh, I can do that. But all of you just went, like, why are your shoulders touching your earlobes? Knock it off.
Because, first off, excuse you, you're talking to adults, and this is your profession, apparently, so be professional. You don't have to be a freaking rude. You knock it off. I don't have to be professional because I can do whatever I want, but apparently you do because you're a top leader in MLM and you call this your profession. I would not say this is my profession. But maybe the reason they did that is because they don't want to do it. Hey, babe, you hear me get all intense or something? This lady really grinds my gears. She's kind of a butt. Would you like to say hi and let people see your face? You can crawl on your knees and come around and say hi. You don't want to? Oh, well, okay. Love you. Bye. Miss you. Oh, yeah, I'm hungry. Okay. Sorry. I love him.
You get to talk about the same thing for the next 30 days.
God forbid.
And you can do that by a post or a reel. You can do either. I don't care what anyone says. Only reels go viral. Don't use hashtags. We're not focusing on that right now. Just show up. That's what we're focusing on. I want you to show up messy. I want you to show up with bags under your eyes. I want you to show up with Legos on the floor. I want you to show up with your pink drink in hand or whatever you're using. I want you to show up. Write that down.
Babe, what are you making to eat?
Pot roast?
He's making some pot roast stuff. It's good. The stars in your eyes when you talk to him is so cute. It's because I love him a lot.
That's number 3. Show up. On social media,
Kat Taylor said she really crusts my Uncrustables. Write down, show up. Write that down.
you have to show up or you don't exist. The algorithm doesn't boost things that don't exist. You have to show up and post consistently. Whether everything is
Charlene, I
pretty
know.
and pink and tied with a ribbon, or it's just like, I'm here. Somebody needed this today. Well, great. The way to make someone stop their scroll is when it's all congruent and it's the same message told different ways. If
Yes.
you were a part of the Plexus Super Saturday, I talked about telling your story in different ways. There is bonus content in our Plexus Go app.
Did they have to pay for that one too, Emily? Don't forget, she charges $10 for people to get on here and watch this. Don't forget that. $10 for her to train her team. That is, she's so greedy.
About this and telling stories. But the thing about telling stories is from different perspectives. Whether you want to tell a weight loss story or like Corinne just went through a divorce, she's remarried, they're learning how to blend a family. Then for the next 30 days, as that being a part of the season of her life, every day she's going to show up and add value to her audience. Hey, are you over the age
Right, Monica, exploiting them twice. Yeah,
of 30 going through a divorce?
right.
You need these 3 tips. Tomorrow, here's a reel on what it looks like splitting between 2 households as we search for a house. Behind the scenes in her story, she's going to show you what it's like looking for a house to live in that suits all the people in her blended family. So for 30 days, you just show up. Have you ever
All right, so I'm going to calculate how much money just by looking. It only is showing me obviously only the people that are on here currently, which is about 35 people, and we can't see anything else. So she's made $350 if these are the only people on there. $350. And that doesn't include if there's another page of people on the Zoom. That is ridiculous. Because these people are already making her money anyway.
Yes, don't get me wrong. There are a few accounts that I follow that are pretty. Ooh, they are so pretty. And it's like, I don't know. I swear it's like a dopamine hit to my brain. And I'm like, how'd they do that? My house does not look like it's for sale and on a website. My house looks like we had a frat party at 7:00 last night. So like I look at things and I'm like, do people really want to see that? But you know what's crazy, Emily? When I just read your message, Melody, and I said my own name. I'm not talking to myself, but hey, you know what? We're talking to ourselves. What's crazy is when I'm crying in my stories, or if I make a reel documenting the hurt or the thick of it, those go viral. Those get the most DMs. Those get the most interaction. And not sympathy interaction, like, oh, what's wrong? Like, that's not what people do in my DMs. They're like, I felt that.
People like vulnerability. Yeah, I mean, people like vulnerability. It makes you feel less lonely because a lot of times people are experiencing what you're experiencing. So they watch and they think, okay, I'm not the only one. But what's the point of you doing that, Emily? Why are you sharing these things? Is it to help people feel less lonely? Or is it to get people to like and follow and all of that? I think I know.
Thanks for showing up on this space anyways, when you could have easily just been like,
Wait, but this is so right. Kirsten says she really hates empathy. Her mocking it is wild. Right. She just mocked them. Like people are like, "Oh, are you waiting?" She just uh, okay. She's trying to commoditize vulnerability. Yeah. Yeah. Kelsey said, "It is so dangerous to post about how you're shopping for a house." Speaking of armed people banging on the door. Yeah. It's just the way that she talks about these different things. Like I posted videos before of myself that are vulnerable. Something particular on my Instagram that I focus on is mental health. I'm a mental health advocate, right? I have major depressive disorder, and I talk about certain things that I've experienced in my life, and I think it's important for people to have conversations about it and not just hide that they're taking med. Like I talk about my medication openly and how it helps me. Like I think that there's a lot of like shame that people like try to make it shameful to do those things, and so I'm trying to do the opposite. Like no, it's okay to do that. It's okay to talk about these things. It's fine. Like you're not the only one feeling that way, and you're not the only one doing this or that or taking this or that. There's people out here who are also going through that, and maybe they can find some community in it. And the idea that I don't know where I was going with that. Damn. You know what? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just like the point behind doing this. The point. Why are you being vulnerable? Why are you opening up about this? And for her, it seems to me that it's simply for interaction and follows and whatnot. Not for people to feel less lonely. Not for people to feel like there's relatability, right? But yeah. Anyway, you don't have ulterior motives. No, right? Exactly. Her ulterior motives make it very yuck.
nope. It's nice to know that you went through something today. So that's why I say you just show up. So what is the thing we're going to talk about for 30 days? I want y'all to put it in the chat, and I'm going to pick on a few of you in just a minute, but I want to go over some things you need to do as you're thinking about what you're going to talk about for the next 30 days to bring attention to your sites. Like I mentioned, you have to learn your audience. You have to see like, okay, I posted something and it flopped. If you're someone that is paying attention to likes, turn the likes off. You can do that in your settings. Turn it off. It's a distraction. Your job is to show up, not to look at analytics. We're showing up. We're not doing data control and compare. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're showing up. So go in your settings and hide likes from yourself, from followers. That's not what matters here. What matters here is consistency and adding value and showing up. Are we in agreement here? Okay, great. So you have to know your audience. So and what I mean by that is not just the interactions, but like a lot of you got the posting down and you're posting every day, but it's not your voice. You're copying and pasting from someone else. And that's not what the people want. They want your voice and your opinion on it because they know you. For a long time, I wasn't making sales with locals in my area. And it was driving me crazy because I desperately wanted a local team that I could build a bond and like do all the things with. Being a military spouse, my team is all over the world. All over the world. I have a huge team in Ohio, a huge team in California. We got people in Australia and Canada. We got all over Texas, just everywhere, Georgia, Florida, just everywhere. And I was getting frustrated with myself. And so something I did for 30 days was I kept talking about motherhood and specifically moms in their 30s. But also when I would use hashtags or keywords in my caption, I mentioned
Unknown said, Plexus trainers told us to post extremely vulnerable content, even to stretch the truth if needed, in order for people to know, like, and trust you. If they trust you, then they will buy from you. Yeah. People in Arbonne did that too. And I feel like that is pretty well known across MLMs that this is something that is pushed. Your why, right? Like vulnerable content, showing, the hard, scary parts of yourself. And you do it to get people to buy your products, to join your team. It's wild.
my specific city and town. And so the algorithm was sending it to people in my city and town. So all the end of 2023 are local people to me who placed orders, whether they were a stranger at the time or they just happened to see a post because it was recommended to them. But I knew my audience. I was reaching the masses, but I wanted to like really get laser focused on people here in my area. And so I started using my own local hashtag every single day. And it's hilarious. I don't know if she's on, if Brittany Duke is on. If you know Brittany Duke, she's awesome. She's a local to me on a different team. She messages me and she goes, good grief. Every day when I open this app, you are the first person I see. I even unfollowed you and you're still showing up. And she didn't mean it in a negative way. She was just like, okay, so there is something to that. Because what we didn't know is that because we live in the same town, we were following our local hashtags. I didn't even know you could follow hashtags, but you can. And so she was seeing my stuff. I was showing up every other post on that hashtag. How do you share with those on a military poster base? I have to be super careful with my position. So if you live on base, then you don't have to.
This is an interesting viewpoint. Alexander the Small said, creating false intimacy with people so you can exploit them. That's an interesting thought. I haven't thought about that before.
You don't have to share
maybe in those words.
Your location. You can just provide value to those in the military community that don't know the things. Melissa, I'm assuming y'all been in the military for a minute and you can offer the world some value of things that you know now that you didn't know when y'all first started. Like how to get a house while they're on deployment, like independence, learning independence while your man is away or your wife is away. Like you just gotta.
Thank you so much, Allie. I appreciate this super chat. That's very generous of you and very kind. And also your cat picture is very cute. I appreciate all super chats. Thank you so much.
Add value in a way that is, you got to be cautious, but you also can be consistent. And you can't let fear drive you there. I don't want strangers or creepers knowing exactly where we live. Do you suggest doing just the biggest city? So for me, I could do where I live or like San Antonio or Hill Country, Texas is where we live. That's what we call. But yes, if you are worried about weirdos of the world, absolutely. And I think you should be cautious, but we're not going to let fear drive us away from running our businesses and meeting the people that we need to meet. Okay. All right. And by knowing your audience, the biggest thing from this is when you post something, Is it engaging? Is it asking a question? Is it providing value? Is it driving them to your DMs? Is there a call to action? So something that I created probably 6 months ago. There's a website called Jotform, Jotform, Jotform. I think it's jot.form. It's kind of like a Google Doc. You could also use a Google Doc, but you can create questionnaires, surveys. It's almost like when you go take your kids to sign up for athletics or football and you have to like fill out like the athletics, like wellness thing. You can make a gut health one. You can make a motherhood one. You could make a homeschooling one. Like literally, you can make your own type of survey. They have tons of examples. You can make your own mock-up one. And then you add that link, not your website link. For the love of the Lord, take your Plexus link out of your bios right now. Promise me. Everybody raise your hand. I promise to take my link out of my bio if it's my Plexus website.
All right. I want to thank Emily Anderson so much for becoming a member. Oh my God, that picture of this child is so cute. Emily, thank you so much for being a member. That means we got to play the new member jam. Are you ready? I'm ready. Here we go.
Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting.
Oh, such a jam. Thank you so much, Emily. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome.
Okay. You're being recorded. Here's why. I'll get back to Jotform in a second. Here's why. When your link is in your bio, there's no way to traffic control who is going to that link. There's no way for you to follow up. There's no way for you to see who is clicking on that link. You are missing out on so many conversations, but you can create a new call to action that can drive people to your website.
And see, Becca, this is what I think. And Lania said that it's dodgy in your opinion to hide their link. I think this is why, really. I mean, I do see what she's saying because you can, like, if you, for me, I use Linktree, so I can see, the interactions with it, with my different links. But Becca Na said, a friend who sells Plexus had the website link in her bio. When I told her, she said, OMG, I thought I removed that. But she removed it so people would know the company right away, not because she left. Right. Especially if like you're posting relatable content. This happens to me all the time. I'll click on someone's video. I'm like, ooh, I like their video. And I go look at their posts, or I go look at their Instagram or whatever to follow them. And then I freaking see they're in an MLM and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not following you. And even if their post is not about MLM. And so I think doing that will help, like, especially if you hide it behind a link tree, is going to help people like get you more followers without them realizing that you're in an MLM.
You can control where you're like, hey, I saw you completed my motherhood questionnaire. Are you tired, moody, and not in the mood for your spouse? Well, I have some solutions I would love to talk to you about. Allow me to introduce myself. Hey, are you a grandmother that can't get off the floor and play Legos with your 7-year-old grandson? Hey, I have a solution for you. I'd love to talk to you about it. You know, all those conversations you have in your head and you're like, if I could just send a message, if I could just say that to that girl because I know she needs it. Well, guess what? This is a step because you know that girl is watching your stories. You can check that data.
Yeah, Roxy.
But now you have a different call to action. So back to Jotform. On Jotform, you can create some sort of wellness checklist or something that goes with what you're going to talk about for the next 30 days. And for those of you that are like, I have no idea what you're talking about, you've lost me, I want you to go, you can go to me, I'm on Instagram, official Emily Roberts, all one word. You can go to my Instagram and you can look. So I use something called Linktree because like the top 5 questions I'm asked on a regular basis are about Plexus, the headbands I wear, where's my cup from, what's that game night game you're talking, like the 5 things that are always in my DMs. I just made a Linktree because it saves me time and people don't want their time wasted. And if I don't reply, they're going to go elsewhere. And so now I can just say, hey, check out the link in my bio. So for those of you that want to do a Linktree, I don't care what Brock Johnson and all those Instagram guru people say, we are being
the freaking lowball hit to Brock Johnson makes me giggle. Brock Johnson. That is funny that I know exactly who she's talking about. I'm sure y'all probably seen him before on Instagram. He's all over Instagram. But I like that she gave a good swung and a ding right to Brock Johnson.
Consistent, and we're using a new call to action. So it's going to work for the next 30 days if you do it correctly and consistently. So we're going to remove our Plexus links from our bio for the love of God. We're going to make some sort of checklist, questionnaire, survey, whatever you want to call it. There's tons of examples. I'm not doing it for you. Go figure it out. We're all big girls and big boys. We can do it. You're going to create it. You're going to add that link in your bio. So then when you make your reel, how many of you, when you're watching something, and maybe it's a recipe and you're like, God, that looks so good. And then they're like, check out the caption for more info. And you're like, nope. And you swipe. How many of you do that? I know I'm not alone. It drives me bonkers unless I'm like so sold on it. I'm like, okay, bet. And I'm going to go read your caption. But there are times when I'm like, at the end of the day, so I do allow myself about 30 minutes of just mindless scrolling. And it's usually at the end of the day. I don't do it in the middle of the day. You guys know, if you're new here, I don't touch my phone until 10 a.m. It's on for emergency purposes for the school or whatever to get a hold of me, but I don't touch my phone until 10 a.m. Most of my content is pre-planned, and so it'll post for me or whatever, but like, it's a distraction. I have other things I got to get done. Like literally 2 minutes before my alarm went off, I was in my closet purging because it's on my list. It's been on my to-do list for like 18 months. And I'm like, it's time. It is time. So if you live in my local area, and I'm about to take this all to Goodwill or my church or my women's shelter, I don't really know, but if you live in my area, finders keepers, go get it. Anyways, no, 10 a.m. I don't touch my phone until 10 a.m. and I have designated business hours, which we'll get to in a minute. Okay. Let's go back to that form. So when you're making your content, when you're making the post, when you're making the reel.
Girl, make this more fun. People pay $10 for this.
In the caption, it's link in bio. Please, like, this resonates with you, fill out the questionnaire in bio. What I love about clickable things, that's why the like to know, the LTK, for the people that follow people that get dressed every morning, because you don't know how to dress yourselves. I don't know when we stop learning how to dress ourselves, but there's tons of influencers that buy.
You see how she just becomes a big old butt for no reason? Like there's no reason for her to say that, but she does. Just for funsies, makes her happy. Just be a butt.
Clothes, and there's a difference in wearing clothes and styling them, right? And so we follow these girls and guys that teach you how to style things that are trending, right? And so when you do this, how many of you downloaded this Like to Know app, right? The white and black app. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't. It's okay.
Right.
But what this app does is they now have made everything clickable.
Mm-hmm.
So you want that necklace? Click here. It takes you directly to the necklace. You want that sweatshirt? Click here. It takes you. So that's kind of what we're doing in our own way, because with wellness and creating value in a relationship, you have to have a conversation first. This is not affiliate marketing. I don't want people to go to my website and just buy something. I want to have the conversation. I want to know how they got there. I want to know that they're committed to at least 90 days, because this ain't a quick fix. Like, that is why taking the link out of your bio is imperative, and that you create a new call to action for them, because maybe they're not ready to talk to you yet, but filling out a survey or a questionnaire isn't as personal, and they feel like it's a safe place for them. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. And here's the thing. You're not going to get on social media today and scroll for 30 minutes. You're going to go spend 30.
It is mind numbing. And I don't think we're going to be able to finish it all, because holy butts. Daniela, I'm sorry. I saw your question about rhododendron fields earlier. I think I definitely have covered it. I have looked into it too. This is cringe. It absolutely is. It is for sure.
30 minutes creating your form. That's what we're going to do. You're going to create 30 minutes sitting there and thinking about what you want to discuss.
Queen Mary. No, this is not the chick with the $120 planner, but that chick is Melissa Collins. This is Emily Roberts from Plexus.
What value you want to add to the world? Because you do. You are so smart and you are so capable of doing so. And you know your audience, you know when you post something and it completely flops because your audience knows, where'd you get that? Who'd you copy and paste that from? They just know. So a friend of mine yesterday, I wanted to share a testimony because it's incredible. It's a girl that's been on my personal team since 2015. And her story, she shared it in a new way on the Sunday night business opportunity Zooms, which by the way, those are every Sunday. They are put on by Diamond Melissa Eichenhorst. And every Sunday it's a new diamond and 2 new guests that you probably don't know, all ranks. And if you have a diamond that you have access to, message them and say, I want to be a guest. I want to share my story. It's great practice. But anyways, those are every Sunday night at 8 p.m.
Okay, boo hoo. I'm tired of listening to her talk about that. I need something of I need some substance to your talk. Jill, that's a cute pic, by the way. Thank you so much for becoming a member. That is so nice. I really appreciate anyone who becomes new members. I mean, you don't have to, but I greatly appreciate it. That means a lot to me. So we're going to play the new member song.
The Powerpuff Girls were born. Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting and
You know what I mean? Such a jam. Oh my goodness. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. And welcome.
If you don't know, follow me. You can watch my stories. But she shared
Well,
it
I'm
on
sorry,
that
Jen.
call, and I was like, oh my gosh, like update. Wait, like, okay, like plot twist. I needed to hear her story. I needed to build belief in what I was doing again in that moment, and it was so good. So what I did was I went to her profile at 8 p.m. Central. And I went and looked at her pictures of her and I and just different events in life that we've done together. And I saved a couple of my favorite ones, you know, the good ones, the pretty ones. And then I went and I took her before and afters and her transformation because she's unrecognizable. She does not look like the girl I worked at Texas Roadhouse with. She just doesn't look like that person. And I was like, the world needs to hear this. And so what I did was instead of just copy and paste a testimony, I ad-libbed 3 or 4 sentences about how I knew her in the backstory. And I asked a question. Has anyone struggled to get pregnant? Has anyone ever been, addicted to Texas Roadhouse rolls? Like whatever. But I asked questions. That's called a hook. That's what makes people keep reading and stay there and not like we want them. And you can Google best
Thanks, Rose.
questions to ask in an Instagram reel. You can Google those things. There's like a whole list of them. Use them for the next 30 days. I can't wait to see y'all stuff. I hope you send it to me or tag me. I just can't wait because I'm already proud of you guys. I know you're going to commit to this. I can see you vivaciously just taking the notes.
Can
But
you?
we're going to apply what we learn.
They all look bored
But
as
I
hell.
shared that. And you know what? It got 40 likes. I have 32,000 followers, you guys. It took me 10 years to get to 32,000 followers. That did not happen overnight. I am not an Instagram diamond. I am not someone with
All right. Okay. Bleh. We have another member, Apathetic Minx. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for becoming a member. Let's jam.
Powerpuff Girls were born. Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting
Really, I appreciate you being a member. I appreciate all new members. Thank you so much and welcome. I'm glad that you're here.
15,000 of them are probably you guys. So I am here because I talked about military, motherhood, marriage. That's what I've talked about for 10 years. That's my testimony. That's my story. And then Plexus happened. And so then I just looked better and everyone was like, well, she's cute. What'd she do different? Let me tell you about it. Right. So
you can be cute as being fat too. It's so weird. It's you can't be cute or pretty or beautiful while you're fat. And I'm like, I was. Just saying.
when I share this story, I'm not posting to get the likes. And you know what? You may not even get a sale that day, but I got messages and they were like, you have no idea how badly I needed to read that. I'm not ready to purchase Plexus, but if I want to try supplements, I'm coming to you. That message alone meant more to me because I added value to that woman's life that was in a time of struggle. It's not my place to sell her something when she is hurt and going through a health crisis. If you have never struggled with a miscarriage or infertility, it's so delicate. And it wasn't my place to offer her a solution. She wasn't looking for one. She wanted to go through her thing. Okay. Exactly. We're not desperate. We don't froth at the mouth. We
Right.
don't, whoa, she messaged, like, no, no, ma'am, no, sir. Take a deep breath and just be a human. Don't be weird. Okay. So we're knowing our audience. We're also setting goals. And did you know it? You can have social media goals. Today, I want to post one reel in 15 minutes. Here's what happens. I'm going to pick on Marlene. Marlene, how you doing today, Miss Marlene Burton? I can see you on my screen.
Stop picking on people.
Marlene's going to sit there. She's going to open her phone. She's looking through her videos. What reel do I want to make? Notice I didn't say she's filming anything. I didn't say she's looking through videos that already exist in her phone, a fun memory. Because here's the thing, you can add a sappy music. Music makes the video, okay? It could literally be your 10-year-old child, grandson, whatever, unwrapping a present, and they're literally screaming in the video, and you're like, I can't even watch this video. I remember all of it. But it's like, they're so happy. You could put, that Taylor Swift song that Never Grow Up. It makes you cry every time you listen to it. You could put that over the video and instantly tearjerker, right? It's not even a tearjerker moment. It's actually full of joy, and they're so happy, and they got the toy they always wanted. Everything is content. And the cool thing about Instagram is it actually makes it really easy for you. All the trending songs show up first when you go to add music to something. Unless you have a favorite worship song or a favorite country artist or something different. Maybe you're just you love classical music. Maybe you have like a gift and you can make amazing.
Oh, appled picker. This is your dog is so cute. This is a good point. Never have I ever had any legit sales or customer service trainer say, just be a human, don't be weird, because it's only MLMs that need that reminder. Exactly.
Bath bombs, and you want to document how you make bath bombs for the next 30 days. Great. Here for it. Add magnesium, something or other to it, I'm sure. Salt, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. You're making your bath bombs.
Oh, I know.
You're using the little containers, whatever. You put on a Beethoven 37. I made that up. It changes everything. When you add music to the content, it changes everything. So when you're going through your phone, you're like, I can't share any of this. It's all stupid. And my husband sounds like a hillbilly from backwoods. You know what? Mute him. Mute him. There are times when I mute myself and I just turn it into a reel because I'm like, what the hay bale? I sound like a hay bale. I sound like I belong on a farm. So there are times you just got to mute it. Add some music.
She's from Hill Country, Texas, or she's in Hill Country, Texas. I was from West Texas. I was from Tumbleweed Country. Tumbleweed, baby. I get stuck under my car all the time. And
I'm from the Hill Country.
you are from the Hill Country, baby. Riley wanted me to let you know he is from the Hill Country. She is too. But I don't like what and what about it? Like this training is just they pay $10 for like legitimate training and help, and you're sitting there talking about how you're from the Hill Country and yeehawing and stuff. She didn't know anything about a yeehaw. I do though. Yeehaw, babe. If you're making so much in your MLM, why charge the $10? Monica, I truly think it's because she's so freaking greedy. She's so greedy. I live in the Hill Country now. I hope I never meet her. That is so funny. Username said, I hate these tough love huns. Like they have no substance. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Add a great caption. And I don't know when we stopped telling the backstory and we started doing these one-liner captions, but
They don't
sometimes
reimburse.
people need the hurt and
They paid for it.
and the forgiveness and the ending. And you know what I mean? They need it all. And you know what? Sometimes it doesn't belong on the reel. The reel could just say, have you ever been through blank?
Right, Monica. Yeah.
My story is below.
None.
And then in the caption is where you tell the story. Okay. My mama used to say less is more. She still does. Anytime I wear eyeshadow, she's like, Emily Roberts, less is more. And so when I think about social media, I think that less is more. If you have more to share, if you're an oversharer, toxic trait right here. If you're an oversharer, then you need to turn it into what social media calls a carousel post. If you know what a carousel post is, nod your head yes. If you don't, raise your hand.
Rose Marigold said, I'm convinced that she likes to hear herself talk. And you know what? Me too. Hey, babe. She pepperoni? Oh, Wuna! She smells like Greek yogurt.
Okay.
Bye,
A
Charlene.
carousel post is when it is a series of posts, usually in order from like, let's say 1 to 7, that you have to swipe through to get to the next part.
Okay. Yeah, we know. Who cares?
A great example of these two types of posts is one telling a story, because you bet I'm about to scroll through because you're like, and then what happened next? And then you have to keep, and what happens is that person is now on your page, on your post for a designated amount of time, longer than 4 seconds, unless they're like a really fast reader. And so the algorithm's like, oh, they like it. They like it more. We gotta suggest more. They like it. And so you can't do it for everything. Can't do it for everything. Because if you're doing carousel posts all the time, it's just don't. Reels
Why?
are more attention grabbing. A carousel
Are you good? Why? No, like, give us something. You tell them to do carousel posts, and you're like, but don't like do them all the time. Why not? Why not? Can you tell them why not? And so, if you're gonna, that's like me saying MLMs are bad. Like, or that's like me saying something like, yeah, sure, MLMs are bad. They're really bad. They're just a bad thing. So you shouldn't join them. Why not? Why shouldn't you join them? You need to explain why not.
post is great every now and then. So telling a story is a great way to do that. Another great carousel post is like if you want to share side by sides that aren't in a reel, like somebody's before and after, or maybe you have like, maybe you want to talk about motherhood and it's your own side by side, or maybe you want to talk about, maybe you're great at baking and you're like, this is what it looks like when you bake with coconut oil, and this is what it looks like when you bake with butter, and you're whatever kind of side by side. So when they're swiping through, it gives them a visual, it tells the story, it's adding value, and then they walk away from your page with a tip on how to bake better. Picking up what I'm putting down. We got that part? Okay. So what they might look like, let me pull it up. So I'm right now I'm doing 30 days of gut health on my Instagram because for a really long time I did motherhood and marriage. And so I want to kind of redirect and remind everyone like, hey, I'm the gut health mom. You can't have that hashtag, it's mine. So find a different one. But
I can do whatever the hell hashtag that I want to do. Next post, I'm going to put that as my hashtag. What'd she say? Give me a second. Oh, I'm being so petty. And I have no care that I am. Hold on, give me a second.
what they might look like, let me pull it up. So I'm right now I'm doing 30 days of gut health on my Instagram because for a really long time I did motherhood and marriage. And so I want to kind of redirect and remind everyone like, hey, I'm the gut health mom. You can't have that hashtag, it's mine. So find a different one. But I'm the gut health.
The gut health mom. Okay. All right, Emily. Thank you for a new hashtag. Oh, Delphi, welcome. Thanks for becoming a member. That is so awesome. I appreciate you being here. Let's jam.
Powerpuff Girls were born. Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting
Such a jam. I appreciate you becoming a member. That's awesome. And welcome. Kelsey said, see, this is why I have to double check every time I see a profile I'm interested in. I have to go to their bio and see what their link tree says. Right. Yeah. Because Kelsey continues, but half of the time they pull you in with something you're interested in, and then you go to their link tree and they see you're in an MLM. Exactly. Becca, member for 2 months. Yay. Thank you for being here. 30 days of gut health. Hashtag 30 days of gut health. Hashtag 30 days of gut health. Yeah, right. Does she think she can own hashtags? Apparently. Beth, hey. Beth said, is there a patent on that? LMAO, dumb controlling cult leader. Like, she's like, don't use that, it's fine. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna use it in every single post, Emily, because you know what? I'm petty as hell. And I'm happily going to.
Mom of my town. So I use that hashtag and my town's hashtag back to back on every post. It was in my bio at one point, but I think what's great about those types of posts when you have that specific thing you want to share about, I don't think I would put it in a reel if it's this much information.
Thanks,
So if it's a
Liam.
lot, if it looks
Hey.
wordy on a reel, it is.
Hey,
Less
pal.
is more. Remember what my
Welcome.
mama says, less is more.
Your picture's
And
so
it belongs in a caption or a carousel post. For example, walking people through what gut health looks like.
cat.
If you want to see it, you can go to my Instagram. But see how all the pictures are the same? But each one adds value on things like I personally didn't know about gut health that I needed to know about gut health. And so, for example, things that harm your gut health bacteria, things that
Then do you go on to put all of your sources listed on the last image or in your caption? Because if you're going to say these things, let's go ahead and see your sources.
affect your weight with gut health, things that affect your brain and your mental health. And so,
Right, Elaine?
anyways, this is something that I decided to share. I don't know. We shared it a few hours ago. And
Amanda.
even if it got 0 likes, it belongs on my content because for 30 days, that's the content I'm sharing. And it's going to bring in a specific niche of people for those 30 days. And the beauty about my page is they already know what they're getting because my bio says so.
We're watching Brandy, that lady who charges from Plexus, top leader in Plexus, charges $10 for people to get on and watch, and then she posts it for free on YouTube. We're watching her. This is called Everything is Content.
I like following people that have a gazillion followers, but only to learn.
Right, Mark.
I'm not really influenced or like following them like that,
Mark said I would trust my 1-year-old nephew's advice on gut health over hers.
but like to learn. Like, what does their bio say? And if you notice, the majority of them are like pretty authentic. Like, you're going to get sarcasm and wit, and I live in Eastern Kentucky. Like, it's just real short and sweet. They're not bleh, like they're not doing that. That's what I mean by just what am I going to get if I come here? Anna says, I started a series on gut health, but last week was the first one. I haven't posted the second. Anna, shame on you. I'm just kidding.
But no, you're not. You're not kidding, though. You just didn't want to seem like a jerk, but like you meant that. And if you're like, JulieJo, how do you know she meant it? Have you seen her other videos? I have a few.
Well, if you're going to start something, finish it. And not for your followers, for yourself. Tell your brain,
Okay.
look what I can do. Provide your brain evidence that you can be consistent. Okay? That's why we show up and we're consistent. It's not for other people. I mean, it is, but more so it's for you. All right, next up, that competitive analysis. So looking at what's trending and what you're posting is a great way to stay relevant, but also sometimes go accidentally viral. What happened was I'd made a gut health post. And I used a trending audio that Instagram was just like pushing to everyone. Well, because it was on that trending audio's like page.
If you're just coming in and you didn't see the start of this, Amanda said, ooh, what's the thesis? There was someone who was terminated from Monat, and I go over kind of what happened and their posts about it and stuff. It was interesting. And of course, they shat all over Monat, so there's always that.
People saw it. And so then for like, I mean, I enrolled 17 people in December. People went like crazy. And for me, that's a lot in 1 month. And that's a lot for an Instagram reel and customers from that. And some of them were local, which I love. But I think that we can see, okay, what's working, what's not working. If this person has 500,000 followers and they're even doing the annoying trend, for example, how many of you have a spouse or a bestie that you could, the acrobatic couples that like are all muscly and they do things and you're like,
Yes.
how do you do that?
We
And
know.
then there's the funny couple that's like, guess who's gonna do it? Okay. Y'all send me
That is fun sometimes to watch.
those all the time. My husband would never, just for the record, he would never. We'll keep trying. I'll keep asking. But that's what I mean by doing things that are trending and hilarious.
Beth says she's been like this forever too. Ex Plexus cult survivor, LOL, and I follow her. I reported so many of her posts, especially the income claims without the Plexus disclaimer, which they're supposed to use. Thanks for sharing that, Beth. I am not surprised at all. Also, that is a beautiful picture. Your profile picture is so pretty.
And applying it to what you're posting about for 30 days. And so you guys are being goofy. And then in the caption, it's like, hey, me and Tom here have been married for 25 years. We have, 4 grandkids and 4 kids. And
Right. Santiago said, or respect his boundaries and don't force him to be more on social media than he wants to be. Right.
we decided to do this exercise as we took a break from like whatever, like you're introducing yourself to your audience and it can still go with your flow. If it doesn't go with your flow, but you're still trying to stay up with the algorithm and things that are trendy, you don't have to post it on your profile grid. You can click the 3 little dots right here in the top corner and it'll say all these options. And one of the options is remove from profile grid. Your profile grid is what people see when they come to your page. For example, I made a reel that had nothing to do with gut health and but it was funny and I wanted to do it anyways. And so what I did was I moved it to, so on my reels page, it's there, but
If y'all are wondering what Cal's talking about, Cal said, at least she says to copy others, unlike some coaches who tell you to steal viral content. We're talking about Melissa Collins. She did a whole video. I have it on live. She did a whole training on stealing viral content.
on my main feed, it's not there because we're doing 30 days of gut health. So some of you are like, I just really want to make that because it looks like so much fun. I really want to try that or what.
I'm running to the bathroom. I'll be listening though. Okay. I'll be right back.
Whatever, you can. It just doesn't have to go on the feed. And I think that's what keeps you competitive and in the know and staying trendy, but also staying consistent and reminding yourself, I'm being consistent. I'm doing the thing and providing my brain evidence, right? Another great thing to do is gather content. How many of you have ever watched somebody on social media just like take off in followers and you're like, where are they getting this? Is it in their brain? What the heck? Like, so are you doing 30 days on Facebook too? I'm not. For me, Facebook's entirely different. This is more so Instagram and TikTok. You could do this exact same thing on Facebook. I have 2 different markets personally, so I do it differently. Things on Facebook may have 700 likes, and then I could post the same thing on Instagram and it could totally flop. So I think they're 2 different markets and the algorithms are very different. To get more followers, that's exactly what we're talking about, Cindy Newman, being consistent and posting the same thing for 30 days, but not giving away the whole pizza. You're giving away a little bit of ingredients every day. And if they want the whole pizza, they got to go fill out the link in your bio that we talked about. They got to come to your DMs. Have you ever noticed if you wanted to boost a reel or boost a post or sell an advertisement, which you're not allowed to do, by the way, you cannot sell advertisements on Google or anything. It's against policies and procedures. But when you go to do those things or advertise it at all, it asks you like 4 questions. And it's like, do you want them to call you,
I'm back.
message you, place an order, or sign up? Those are the only call to actions it offers. And I think that's really interesting. And so when I was looking at that, I was like, what do I want them to do? So when you're planning your social
Maddie said, it's a real talent to talk so much and say absolutely nothing. Mark said, is there any value to this? Like, truly, is there? It's the same regurgitated poop that they all coach on. Right. Exactly. It's the same damn thing. The nodding.
media content, what are they getting from the thing you're about to post? Would they want to pick up the phone and be like, I got to talk to you about this right now? Are they going to send you a message? Are they going to comment and say like, I need more info? Are they going to, share their experience? Are you inviting them to tell their story? It's so important for you. Every post that you put up and you plan to do has a call to action.
I want to shout out Rachel. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I am so glad that you're here and welcome. Let's jam.
Powerpuff Girls reborn! Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting
Again, welcome. So glad that you're here. Thank you.
Okay. Somebody said, I don't feel creative. Hold on. I don't feel creative. I'm trying hard not to compare.
Do you think she's gonna? Who thinks she's gonna offend this person? Let's see. I think she'll offend them. Let's listen.
But Instagram is so hard for me to learn, but I keep trying every day. So with that, Melissa, quit trying and stick to the one thing. You just said you're a military spouse. Stick to military spouse and what you know about the military for 30 days. Follow other military accounts. One of my favorite
I don't think that was offensive.
is Moving with the Military. She is precious. She's actually local to me. She lives about an hour and a half away. And every day she shows up and she talks about the nonprofit that her and her husband started to help other military people when they're transitioning out of the military. She also gives moving tips. So, hey, are you in the military and you're moving? Here's 3 things you got to know. Like, it's just the little things that we tuck away that we subconsciously know how to do. Like, that other people just don't know. Common sense is not common knowledge, you guys. It's not common knowledge.
Common sense is not so common when watching these videos. Am I right? Yeah, targeting military people is so wrong. Leave military families alone. Absolutely. She seems to be someone who goes after them quite intensely.
A lot of people don't have common sense.
Right. So I would. Am I good? No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I put that one back in.
So that's where we come in. Because, I mean, how many times have you seen something where you're like, right? And you're like, how did that happen? I've been alive for 33 years. So it's our job to show up and just tell it. Hey, this is something I've been doing for the last 5 years. It helps me with laundry. Hey, this is something that, like, for those of you that are in this season, this is a box of Legos for those of you that just joined us. If you're in a Lego season, how do you organize them? How do you clean them up? You got a Lego vacuum? This one lady bought a vacuum specifically for Legos. One, that's hilarious. And 2, it's freaking genius. What am I doing with my life? Why do I not have a Lego vacuum? Like, this is in the top of my kid's closet because I don't have a Lego.
Hey, Shelby, I'm glad that you're here. OMG, I'm so late. I'll have to go back and watch in the beginning. I was napping with the puppies and it was amazing. That sounds so amazing. Oh, thank you, babe. I'm so hungry. He brought me a little slice of bread. Is there... Oh, look. Can you see the steam? Maybe not.
There what?
Can you see the steam of it? Oh, it's so warm. Thank you. Thanks, babe. I'm glad that you're here. And napping with puppies sounds amazing. I'm jealous.
Lego vacuum and I don't want them to play with them. I do. I throw away every Lego I step on. Absolutely. Yes, Tracy. Absolutely. Forever and always. But we're going to talk about getting creative. So there's an app that's been around for 1 million years called Pinterest. Ever heard of it? And what I love about content creators is that's the app that they use to teach you how to post on social media. You can literally look up wellness content calendar, motherhood content calendar. You can look up fitness. You can look up moving. You like literally anything. And a lot of the time, if they don't have that specific subject, or noun that's a part of that line, it's still a content calendar with prompts to get that creative juice flowing because it is a skill. Melissa, you may very well not be a creative person. It is a skill. Some of us kind of Chat GPT. For those of you that want to use AI intelligence, you can use Chat GPT. Canva also has this where you can type in a word and it will give you content. It will create your content for you. Reels on Canva. Yep. So if you want to use those things and you feel pretty savvy in that department, by all means do it. But for those of you that are brand new.
Julie Lystad. Hi, I love you. Hi. Sorry, everyone. I needed a moment with my girl. Okay, we're back. Love you.
To this and you're like, Pinterest is a little friendlier and it gives you ideas. Because You're overthinking it. So then you don't do it. We call that analysis
Shelby, she did not just say AI intelligence. That she did.
paralysis. You're overanalyzing, and then you don't post it all. And then you're mad. And then you hate your job or plexus or whatever it is that you're supposed to be talking about. And then it's plexus's fault.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, pitiful.
It's your brain.
Oh.
It's your brain's fault.
She is just such a nice lady. She makes people feel so good. Oh. Nope, it's your brain's fault. Thanks, Emily. It just gets worse and worse and worse.
It's your brain. So you can say, brain, I know exactly what to do next. I know I'm going to create a jot form to drive action to my link in bio so that I can get to know my audience better. I know exactly what to do next. I can get on Pinterest and look up a content calendar because I am smart and capable and I don't need an upline to tell me what to do. I know what to do. I'm going to create content for the next 30 days about the same subject because I'm smart and I'm capable.
Sorry, that was so rude of me. I'm sorry. I did not mean to like do that, but she's getting under my skin. Sorry. And Riley, did you hear me?
What?
Did you just hear me?
No.
I just mocked her.
You mocked her.
I did. Whoops. Bacon. Accidental bacon. That was funny. I thought you meant it as bacon, and I was like, well, that's a new one. Penn said, I feel like an angry cat with my hackles up. She's so Regina George. Yeah. It's giving Regina George. Hannah Bacon is so much better. Hannah Bacon is so much better.
Ooh, Judith, I like it. Diabetes and transplant. I'm gonna learn some things from her.
Becca, that's funny.
Anything you want to talk about that you are like,
Okay, I gotta-
when you sit down with your grandkids and you want to tell them about, what's the thing you want to tell them about? 30 days. When you sit down with your spouse and it's date night and you're looking into his eyes and you're like, oh my God, you're so cute. I'm so lucky. And y'all want to talk about something and then you get going and you want to, what is the thing? When you're with your girlfriend and she asks you a question because you're the go-to for that subject, what's the subject? When you are following accounts,
just Google it.
and I don't mean like the rodeo cowboys with their shirts off, not those accounts, ladies, the other accounts that actually add value. Yeah, y'all laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hannah's.
The accounts where you're like, oh, I want to learn how to do that. Start doing it. Document it. I've never made sourdough before, but we're going to try. It's funny.
Don't be a bacon.
It's so funny. And you could add funny music over it because maybe you burn food and kill plants like me. It's fine. That's what we do here. Okay. Somebody said, well, how weird can we get? I mean, I could be talking about so many things that could be disgusting online, but I wish, you know what? Somebody made a video yesterday about hemorrhoids after having babies. She started running after she had babies and she gets hemorrhoids really bad. She has a ton of followers. Some of you might follow her and know who I'm talking about. And she's not with our company. She's just an funny mom influencer. And she was like, her hashtag was normalize normal bodies. Now, do people get hemorrhoids? Yeah. Is it gross? Sure. But that's what she decided to talk about. Things that happen to our bodies post, pre, during babies and after
She's such a freaking bacon.
babies. And so I've seen her talking about it for like probably 30 days because that's what most influencers do. They stick to one thing. And so like, I'm not just trying to be an influencer. I don't want to influence you to buy all the cute things or whatever. I want you to learn. I want you to genuinely want to have a relationship with me because I've added value to your life and that builds trust.
Why the hell, Emily, would anyone want to have a relationship with you when you happily insult others? Like, it legitimately lights up your face. Don't insult bacon like that. Sorry, Cindy. God, she's so. You know what I'm saying?
We've made a connection. And so that when I do bring up Plexus, you're not like, of course you're in network marketing. It's more like, oh, well, if she was teaching me about that, of course I want to buy that from her. Oh, that helped her with this. Of course I want to order that from her. Okay. Okay. All right. Mary Carmen, hopefully that answered your question. Let's keep going as we gotta I told my mom 30 minutes and she's looking at me like, this is not 30 minutes. Shout out to my mom. Okay. We're gathering content. She's laughing at me. She is drinking her pink drink right now. So yay, mom. We're gathering content from content calendars. There are other accounts on Instagram. If you're going to scroll, like give yourself an allowable scroll time, 15 minutes. Go directly to that page, not the explore page.
There's regular bacon, and then there's bacon in the derogatory sense. Yes, Nalkita. Right.
Go directly to that social media expert who gives you little one-liners and hooks and things to say, which is funny because my friends who know I make reels, they send me these now. They're like, you need to use this.
Shay said, shout out to my mom, best customer LOL, please. Shout out to my mom, best customer LOL, please. This is ridiculous that shout out to my mom. Like, shout out to her mom, but also she's using her mom as a customer. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Oh my gosh. This whole Zoom deserves a bombastic side eye. Even her mom was giving her a side eye. Lights up her face. She gets so bummed when she insults people. Have you seen, like, watch when she says something insulting? She's like excited to insult people.
That is what you allow yourself to do. You are not making money scrolling. Stop being a consumer. Be a consistent creator.
Stop being consumer. Well, what about all the stuff they consume from Plexus? They're purchasing all those products. The consultants are the biggest consumers of MLMs.
And then you will have consumers who want what you're offering.
I get what she's
Those
saying.
people that have all this influence, they had a plan. Then they worked the plan consistently. They didn't just show up. Now, some of them are real cute, and I'm sure they just showed up and people were like, follow, you're cute. Not all of us are that cute. It's okay, but we're smart. That matters, right? Okay, so we're going to be smart and consistent. Okay, next up. After you have the plan, you're going to work the plan and you're going to use a calendar. So for me, in my phone, every single day, an alarm goes off at 8:15.
All right, I'm fucking done with that. Calendar. I'm done. I'm done listening to her. I can't take any more, and I'm hungry, and dinner's ready. So 2 hours and 6 minutes, my friends. Thanks for being on here. I'm going to hop off and go eat dinner with my husband and read more books and not listen to Emily Roberts anymore because my head's done for the day. I'm out. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. I always appreciate y'all joining on my lives. And I thank you, especially those becoming members. Thank you so much. That is very kind and I welcome you. Also, before you leave, please don't forget to like the video. And that's just called your whole damn downline ugly. I can't. I'm not surprised that she did. Yeah, and if you want to push the video out even more, you can just simply leave a comment down below after you like it. So thanks for being here, and I'm gonna head out. Bye, everybody.
Stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let